first day of school.
Okay, it's not the headline news.
Where there are issues with internet connections, Daly says his department is working with schools to identify
major story.
Let's see. To work on days when they aren't in class.
You're not going to believe this.
Will also have access to tech support at home and at school.
Listen to this.
New Brunswick's Liberal leader is challenging Blaine Higgs' track record on providing affordable housing. Kevin Vickers made his comments in Moncton today. That's where the Progressive Conservative leader shared his plan on Tuesday. Vickers says issues with housing have gotten worse in the past 2 years under the Higgs government.
And he had the audacity to come here the other day and state that he was going to work on affordable housing without giving any commitment to investment, and having the record of only creating 19 affordable housing during his 2 years of record. I will change that.
Vickers says a Liberal government would move immediately to build social and community housing. Blaine Higgs was focused on senior care at his campaign stop in Woodstock today. He says if his government is re-elected, it will apply lessons learned from the COVID-19 response. Higgs promised to expand virtual health care so seniors and rural residents have easier access to specialists. The People's Alliance pledged to do the same in a statement earlier this week. Higgs says a progressive Conservative government would take steps to make the health system easier for seniors and their families to navigate.
Over the next 2 years, we will be adding an additional 20 extramural program nurses, liaison nurses, to our hospitals. Their role is to coordinate with extramural so that when a patient is discharged, they can do a full assessment of what medical equipment may be needed in the home, along with any other support they may need while they recover.
Higgs said again today he will not close any emergency rooms or reduce hours. He called the rollout of proposed changes last spring unfortunate and not well communicated. Meanwhile, the Green Party leader promised to restore autonomy to local hospitals if his party forms government. David Coons says he'd establish community health boards to decentralize healthcare. The union that represents New Brunswick nursing home workers says seniors will face barriers to voting in the upcoming election because of COVID-19. Normally, nursing home residents can vote outside of nursing homes at advanced polls, ordinary polling stations, or returning offices, or they can vote inside the nursing home. Sometimes polls are set up in common areas, or seniors can request a bedside visit from a special ballot team. CUPE President Brian Watson says elderly people are more vulnerable to the effects of the coronavirus, so many are likely to avoid the contact required for voting.
A lot of seniors are going to take a second look at what's going on. People are not going to, they're going to walk up, see a large line, and what's happening today is people are getting so lax that I don't see social distancing all the time. I don't see people wearing masks. So I'm afraid these seniors' right to vote is going to be taken away.
Watson says there are insufficient staffing levels in nursing homes to help elections NB personnel with the voting process. A young humpback whale has become trapped.
It must have been, I heard it an hour ago. Must have been a different, it wasn't on CBC. There's a poll that came out. Or was it a federal poll? It said that the Liberals, the Conservatives were ahead of the Liberals by 4%. Green Party, 6%. People Alliance, 2%. And about 35% said they don't want to vote or they hadn't made up their mind yet. Now, where am I going here? Wow. So, wow. How's that for what the? So anyway, the bottom line, how can somebody listen to Vickers the last 2 weeks and say, you know what? I want this man as my premier. He doesn't know anything. Higgs, like I said, and Brian Watson just said it, the president of CUPE, is going to be the lowest turnout, voting turnout in history. Seniors are going to be scared to go outside. They're not going to stay in the goddamn lineup. Why am I putting a blinker to turn? Huh? Strange, must say. I'm a tourist. We're in Sainte-Marie. Sainte-Marie. So, the bottom line here, the poll, they never talk about it, but it's going to be the lowest turnout, and whoever wins, it's they can't go around calling themselves premier. But this is going to be, if Vickers wins, Lord help us, this is going to be like a George Bush. Vickers doesn't know anything, but all the members, the workers of the Liberal Party, they would have hit the 649. Because they would be filling their pockets like crazy. Oh, Mr. Premier just signed this. Mr. Premier just signed that. Mr. Premier. Because he doesn't know nothing. So how can somebody, after listening to him, say, I want that man as my Premier? And then we got Higgs, Mr. Irving man. Oh, boy. What a mess. This is worse than Corona.